Hello, everyone. Dr. Stillman here, and today we are going to be talking about vitamin D and how you should get yours. So, as always, this isn't medical advice, and make sure that you're following my Telegram and Substack channels. There's now a paid Substack option for those of you who would like to fund the care of those who cannot otherwise afford integrative medicine. And without further ado, let's get into talking a little bit more about vitamin D. This is another paper that talks about vitamin D status despite abundant sun exposure. So, in this study, they were doing this in Hawaii, and that's at 21 degrees latitude. That's actually the most southerly portion of a US state. And they looked at these people who reported that their sun exposure, and these are healthy people, normal body mass index, et cetera, their sun exposure was 28.9 hours per week. That's an enormous amount of sun exposure. That's 3 or 4 full days at the beach. That's incredible. Hardly anyone today actually gets that kind of number. What did they find? The mean 25-hydroxy vitamin D concentration was 31. That's remarkable. 51% of the population, therefore, had low vitamin D status, and the highest level was 62. I never see higher than the 60s in people who are not taking supplements. So, normal, natural, achieved in nature is somewhere between 30 and 60. I want to point out that the only places where people live that are very cold and don't have an abundance of ultraviolet light, those places and those people all compensate for this by eating enormous amounts of fish. And that means that if you combine low vitamin D status due to lack of sun exposure by living in a place like Canada or Minnesota, and you don't compensate for it by eating fish, that's one reason why life expectancies are dropping in the Western world. People have forgotten this very important connection. I always check vitamin D levels in patients. I don't always do it right off the bat because there are a lot of other factors that you actually need to correct before you correct this. And I also want to be talking to them about their lifestyle and their sun exposure and all kinds of other stuff before I jump into this with them. So those are my thoughts on vitamin D adequacy, sun exposure, diet. If you go look in the literature, it's very hard to get to a normal vitamin D with just fish. You need the sun, unless you're eating absolutely ludicrous amounts of fish. And then you might wind up in my clinic wondering why you have mercury poisoning. So as always, thank you for watching. Make sure you're following my Telegram and Substack. Take care. Have a great day. If this video has been helpful to you, make sure that you check out my link tree below to find out how you can keep in touch with me best. And if you would like to become a patient at my practice, please apply to work with me at stillmanmd.com. Thank you again for watching. Have a great day.